Hello everyone, my name is AJ Barce, and in this video it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to have a little bit of a different tone. Now, recently, because of COVID-19 in Washington State, a lot of my materials lately have been really tailored around audiovisual and the educator. And this video really kind of got me thinking because a colleague of mine reached out just the other day asking me from my initial post how I even got my studio set up in my home, and how do you even put up a green screen? And so that got me thinking. I really wanted to show kind of what my mornings look like. Now, I wake up early morning because in real life I have a toddler, and the only time I can get quiet dub-overs or videos are bright and early in the morning when it's kind of quiet. So I wanted to show a little bit of what my routine looks like in the morning, as well as how I set up my studio every day, Monday through Friday. And this is really just a way so that if you are an educator and you're watching this, you can kind of see what a geek does in these COVID-19 stay at home, work at home, learn at home, teach at home time that we're in. And if you're a student watching this, I kind of wanted you to see and kind of keep in the back of your mind, your faculty are trying the best they can with the technology that they have. And between the two of that, we're going to find a common ground in between so that we have effective teaching and effective learning. So with that said, let's take a look at what my morning looks like. So every morning, it starts here, my kitchen. I flip on what's going to be my overhead lights for my production, and just like that, my studio, which was once my dining room, comes to light. So the most important thing in these changing times is a routine. So every morning I make my favorite cup of coffee. And this is important for both educators and students. We need to have routines so that our day has some sort of normalcy. For me, it's always getting coffee freshly ground, just so that my day is start. And this is my time where I'm starting to think about my day and prepare. No differently than if we were going into work or going into class. Now, another thing that's important to me is that I take a little bit of time for myself. Now, with that said, it's off to work, as it were. Instead of doing a daily commute, I do my daily breakdown. So I take off the lampshade of our lamp that's in our dining room, and that'll help with lighting of my green screen. I pull the curtains back so that my green screen is taut. You want to make sure that there's no wrinkles. And I've actually just clipped mine using chip clips to my curtains. And just make sure that you don't have any wrinkles, because otherwise it makes green screening really hard. We all need to look a little bit professional, even though we're going to be on camera. So I throw on a black button-up shirt, and now I build my studio. So a few things need to happen. A little bit more coffee, obviously. I flip a bar stool up sideways, and then I grab a piece of wood that I had from our garage. A TV stand that I usually use in our living room acts as a riser for my MacBook. Some last minute lighting checks. I have a light that I put on our other remaining bar stool, and I check for shadows. Between those three lights, you shouldn't have any direct shadow. One from the left, one from the right, and one top down. With lighting in my studio setup, I grab the two microphones that I usually use in my productions, a lavalier and a USB microphone. The lavalier I attach to my phone so that I can keep it in my pocket when I record, and I attach it to the collar of my shirt. Now, notes are a two-way street to our brain when it comes to learning. If you're a student, I would encourage you to bust out that notebook or iPad Pro and do take notes as you're watching your lectures. The last thing I'll do is set up a reflector if I feel like I need to have a little bit of extra reflected light on my face, but I only feel like I need to use this occasionally. Once I have that, I'll open up Screencast-O-Matic and my presentation. More coffee must be had. And I'm all set to go. Now, with that, I have a routine of connecting with some of my colleagues, and as a faculty or as a student, I would encourage you to make sure that you do make connections, whether it's in your class or if you have friends. Make it part of a routine so that you feel like you still have a level of connection both to your class or if you're working to your colleagues. With that all out of the way, now it's showtime. So that wraps up that very honest morning look, warts and all, of what my life looks like ever since COVID-19 and we've had to teach at home and learn at home. Now, warts and all, because you'll see little Easter eggs in the background. You'll see the toys that my tot always leaves around the dining room table, and that's life. So with this, I just wanted this video to really serve as just a reminder for both the teacher as well as for the student that we're all kind of making adjustments and kind of just give a little bit of grace. So with this said, I kind of wanted to give kind of 3 wrap-up points. The first thing is use what you have on hand. If you're an educator, use that tripod that you've probably left with the DSLR in that closet because your smartphone is a lot better. Grab that and break it out. If you have an adjustment clamp, put that on your tripod and use your phone for your instruction. And students, if you're watching this, same thing. That really hot iPhone 12 that you have in your pocket with 3 bajillion cameras, it works just as good with Snapchat and TikTok as it does in your online learning. So don't forget that you can use that for digitizing your notes and using it for videos that are going to be assigned to you in these learn in place times that we're in. So start with what you've got, and then what you don't have, supplement it. Simple things like you saw as a green screen drop cloth that can be 20 or 25 bucks, a reflector, some lights, a tripod if you don't have one. Those little things make just it a little bit easier for you because you can just set it and forget it. And that's kind of part of my routine. As you can see, I keep my green screen up. It's attached to my curtains so that I can easily open and close them. And the lights that I have are just standard lamp. When you're watching this, just think, how can you bring up your AV game as an educator and as a learner? Because we're going to need to on both camps so that we can be effective educators and effective learners. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my blogs, and hopefully this video finds you in good health and in maybe a little bit better spirits.